story is YukiOnna, Snow Women, by Japanese 111 students.
In Musashi Province, there was a village where there were two woodcutters, Mosaku, the old man, and Minokichi, the young apprentice. One day, every day they had to go across the wide river to get to the forest near their village. One very cold evening, Minokichi and Mosaku were caught in a great snowstorm. When they got to the ferry, the boatman had already gone home, his boat on the other side of the lake. It was too cold to swim, so they took shelter in this tiny ferryman's hut. There was no fire, only enough room for two people, with one door and no windows.
Trust me, Kichi. The storm will soon be over and we'll return to the morning.
The old man almost immediately fell asleep, but Minokichi stayed awake for a long time, listening to the awful wind and the slushing snow against the door. The river was roaring, and this tiny little hut sounded like a jumping sea. It was a terrible, terrible storm, and the snow and the air became colder every moment. Minokichi shivered under his raincoat, but in spite of the cold, he too fell asleep. Suddenly, a woman in white appeared, walking over to Minokichi. She bent down over his face until she almost touched his face. He could see she was beautiful, though her eyes frightened him.
I intended to treat you like the other boy, but took pity on you, for you are so young. You are a very pretty boy, Minokichi, and I will not hurt you now. But dare you ever tell anyone what you have seen tonight, I will know it, and I shall kill you. Remember what I say.
With these words, she turned from him and left the tiny hut. When Minokichi found himself able to move again, he looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found.
Could it have been just the wind? Perhaps I was only dreaming. I may have mistaken the snowlight in the doorway for the figure of a white woman. Mosaku? Mosaku!
He touched the man, only to find that he was ice. Mosaku was dead. By dawn, the storm was over. The ferryman returned to his station at sunrise, only to find Minokichi lying there beside the frozen body of Mosaku. The ferryman had Minokichi promptly cared for, since he was ill from the long, cold night and frightened because of the old man's death. But Minokichi never spoke of the woman in white. When he became well again, he returned to his calling in the forest.
One wintry evening a year later, Minokichi was returning home and came by a girl who happened to be traveling on the same road. She was very pretty and answered Minokichi's greeting in the voice of a songbird.
Konbanwa.
Konbanwa.
Onamae, what is your name?
Yuki desu. Yuki. My name is Yuki. It means the snow. I am traveling to Yedo because my parents have died and I am hoping to find a job as a servant with my relations.
Are you betrothed?
No, I'm not. Are you?
No. Seeing as I am so young, my Ogasan has not decided when we can marry yet. Shall we walk together?
Hi.
By the time that they had reached the village, they decided that they greatly enjoyed each other's company. Minokichi asked Oyuki to rest a while at his house. After some shy hesitation, she went there with him, and his mother made her welcome. Oyuki behaved so nicely that Minokichi's mother took a sudden fancy to her and persuaded her to delay her journey to Yedo. As it turned out, she soon became Minokichi's wife and an honorable daughter-in-law to his mother. When Minokichi's mother died some 5 years later, her last words were words of affection and praise for the wife of her son. Oyuki bore Minokichi 10 children, boys and girls, handsome children all of them, and very fair in skin, just like their mother. One night, after the children had gone to sleep, Yuki was sewing by the light of a paper lamp, and Minokichi, watching her, said,
To see you sitting there with the light on your face makes me think of a strange thing that occurred when I was a young lad of 18. I saw a woman as beautiful as you. She wasn't as wonderful as you, I'm sure, but nothing like that.
Minokichi told her about the terrible night in the ferryman's hut, and about the white woman that had stooped above him, smiling and whispering, and about the silent death of old Musaku. And he said,
Sleep or awake, so never a night that I saw a woman as you. But I was afraid of her, so very afraid. I was not sure whether it was a dream or a woman in the snow.
It was I, Yuki it was, and I told you then if you would ever tell anyone, I would know it and I would kill you. If not for those sleeping children there, I would strike you dead now. But as it were, if they ever have any reason to complain of you, I shall know it and I will return and treat you as you deserve.
Even as she screamed, her voice became thin, like the crying of a wind. Then she melted into a bright white mist that spiraled to the roof beams and shuddered away through the smoke hole. Never again was she seen.